Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm hoping a couple more people to join the webinar as we get started. This is the last of our scheduled webinars for this school year. We'll probably have a couple next year, one before the school year begins, and then maybe first and second semester, just to foreshadow some of the work that is going on at Gainesville High School and celebrate some of the successes of our students. Today's a little bit of that. We're going to start by celebrating the class of 23, and as we go through the webinar, share a little bit of information that we hope is relevant, useful for our community, parents and students as we move towards the end of the school year. Mrs. Pomfret, are you able to share the screen? Oh, sorry, before we do that, introductions. I'm Neil Beach, I'm the principal of Gainesville High School. Mrs. Pomfret?
Megan Pomfret, I'm the Director of School Counseling.
Mrs. Yearwood?
Hi, this is Yearwood. I'm assistant principal.
Mr. Washington?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Troy Washington. I'm one of the assistant principals here at Gainesville.
Mr. Daniels?
Hello, I'm Adam Daniels. I'm an administrative intern at Gainesville.
Mr. Daniels is only being truthful for another month or so. He is going to be an assistant principal at Gainesville High School starting July 1. So congratulations again, Mr. Daniels, and very much deserving of the promotion that you're about to experience. So thanks for joining us also. Okay, this time we'll go ahead with sharing the PowerPoint slides, and we'll move through our presentation. So again, welcome. Thanks for being here. We've gone through introductions. The goal for tonight, share some end of year reminders about things that are coming up, celebrating the class of 2023, and some information about graduation. With that in mind, Dr. McDade, our superintendent, was here the day that our seniors had decision day. So she got to hang out with several of our students during the lunch period in one of our courtyards. So it was great that she was here and able to celebrate our students on one of the special days this time of year. We're going to talk a little bit about spring testing. We're mostly through AP testing. In fact, I think we are through AP testing at this point. We've got one more big day of SOL testing tomorrow, and then we're into retakes and expedited retakes as we move towards the end of the year and final exams. And then again, if you have any questions that we can answer, please look at the bottom of the screen where the Q&A feature is. If you click on the Q&A, we'll answer any questions that pop up for us as we go through the webinar this evening. So that's the agenda. We'll move on from there. So some of the reminders for the end of the school year are the attendance matters. I'm going to start with that. It's a prominent feature of the landscape that we need our students to show up to school. Our attendance rate at Gainesville High School is relatively strong compared to other high schools in the area, but it's not what it was 3 or 4 years ago across high schools in Northern Virginia. So students, we need you in school on time every day. Parents, please do everything you can to make sure students are in school and learning all the way through to the end of the school year. There will be no day where students should not come to school unless they have a final exam that they're exempt from. Every day we do expect students to be here through the end of the school year, and students can come to school the day of their final exam if they don't have a final exam. They're still welcome in the building. We'll still keep them busy. Safety and security. The school board approved the installation of Evolve magnetometers or metal detectors. That's going to be a feature that is added sometime close to the start of the coming school year. In addition to that, more locally, however, we've hired an additional staff member. We were fortunate to, through a selection process, identify a retiring Fairfax County police officer, and she's going to join our staff when we start the new school year. So we'll have 4 full-time security staff, and we'll have a school resource officer, principal, and county police officer assigned to our school each day. A reminder for students, please do not open or prop doors open during the day. They're closed and locked for a reason. It's one of the reasons that we ask for students not to receive food deliveries to school during the day. from any of the vendors. We don't have the manpower, and frankly, it's a security concern. If Uber Eats or other vendors are driving around campus looking for an open door. Parents, you're always welcome. If you want to deliver food for your child, just come on in through the front door, and we'll try to connect you with your child to deliver food as a treat, if that's on your agenda for the week. We have had an uptick in the number of student drivers, but we've also had an uptick in the number of students and frankly parents as well, who are not driving safely on their way to school or on campus. So this is a friendly reminder that we expect drivers in and around campus to be patient, respect normal traffic laws and conventions, go slowly. There are a lot of pedestrians on campus. Be sensible. Student drivers who fail to purchase a parking permit as we move into next year, we're going to start monitoring that more closely as we get a larger number of student drivers. So students will be ticketed by security staff and potentially even have their car booted if they don't buy tickets. So student drivers, be sensible, follow the rules, try to keep everybody safe, please. Another logistical landmark on the horizon is that we need to retrieve laptops. School system issued laptops from students before the end of the school year. And because not every student will take a final exam in every class, we're going to have to collect those devices before final exams. So for our senior class, June 1st and 2nd, those devices will be collected through their first period class. So by the time seniors leave on June 2nd, they should have turned in their laptops. Those teachers will keep devices in their classrooms so that they are available for use if students need them during the school day, but they'll stay at school at the end of the day so that we can take inventory and then re-image them for the following school year. Underclassmen, June 6th and 7th. So students who are not seniors will return their devices on the 6th and the 7th during first period classes. And I'm going to stress that we need all of the equipment that we signed out to students, including the charger. If students fail to return a charger to school with a laptop, then they'll be charged $15 for a replacement. So students, please be on top of that. Make sure we get everything back for you before the summer. Okay, they're the end of year reminders from myself, and I'm going to pass over to Mr. Washington, who's got information about PTSO and yearbook.
Good evening again, everyone. Just a few reminders from our PTSO, and I'd really like to personally thank our board members of the PTSO and all our PTSO committee members, as well as our community for making our Teacher Appreciation Week a very successful week. Thank you again for that. The PTSO wanted to remind our Gainesville community to get a head start on the 23-24 school year. They are in the process of, or will be in the process of ordering shirts, and these shirts are very different than any of the paraphernalia that we offer here at Gainesville in that they are class appropriate. So the students can have these shirts, parents can have these shirts, and they're reflective of not only the class, but they're reflective of the colors that the students normally wear during our pep rallies. So each class has their own color, and this storefront will open on May 31st. There's a link to order the apparel in the chat. So if you're interested in that, you may do that. If you want further information, feel free to contact Ms. Branch, who is the head of the PTSO, or you can contact me here at Gainesville. Another reminder for everyone in regards to yearbooks, we are about that time, coming around that time to distribute yearbooks. Yearbooks will be distributed starting on May 31st and will go through June 9th. The distribution will take place during all lunches. Students still will be allowed to purchase yearbooks or pick up books on red days during lunch in one of the cafeterias or after school in room 2006. Check or cash for the $85 yearbook. Students will not be able to purchase or receive books during other times. So that will be the main times that those books will be offered. And for those who have not purchased a book and will be interested, we have only allotted for a certain amount of books, so that will be done on a first come, first served basis.
Mr. Washington, can I speak to that just for a
Sure.
moment? So we literally have 120 to 150 books left. That's it. We have to pre-order the books and frankly pay for them in advance. So the run of books will be limited. We've sold, I think, 550 copies. We've requested about 700 copies from the publisher. So we'll have about 150 copies available for students or parents who have not yet purchased a book.
I think my last slide here is in regards to our rising seniors, our class of 2024. Please note that senior portraits will take place on 7/23 and 7/24. They will run from 9 a.m. to 3:00 p.m. They will again be done by our photographers at Victor O'Neill, who do a really good job for us here at Gainesville. Registration info will come out towards the end of June. When that information comes out, it will come directly to our senior class, and appointments can be made designated for those particular slots. Walk-ins on those days will not be accepted. So it's very important that when that information comes out, that you allot for time between 9 a.m. and 3:00 p.m. And again, that registration information will go out sometime during the end of June. So you have plenty of time to check your calendars and get ready for senior portraits.
All right, looks like I'm up. Again, Megan Pomfret, Director of Counseling. So Prince William County Summer School enrollment is currently open. There are multiple different opportunities for families. The first is credit recovery. So if a student were to take a class and not pass, there's a program called Prince William County Launch. This is in person at Unity Reed and it is free. Again, this is for credit recovery. So if your child's trying to get ahead in math or in other subject areas, this is not the option and the registration will be denied. This is only for credit recovery. New credit is only earned through virtual Prince William. It is online and it's $375. I would strongly encourage families to enroll for these programs, register for these programs now. A lot of these classes are filling up. They don't have space for next year. The deadline for both programs is May 26th, so a little bit less than a week. Things will wrap up here. So it's important if your student is interested to take advantage of this soon. It is also very important that your school counselor is aware, your child's or student school counselor is aware of the plan. So please ensure that you have contact with them. The caseloads are on the Gainesville High School website. And another program that Prince William County is offering this year, they've offered it in the past, but they have a pretty robust program this summer, is high school enrichment. This is also, I believe Ms. Yearwood put a link in the chat about the enrichment program. These cost, off the top of my head, I feel like it's about $150, but all of the information's on the website. They have some pretty cool things, including some robotics opportunities, some art opportunities. These are not credit bearing, so it won't go on your child's transcript. There's also, I believe, some college essay workshops that they're doing. So if you have a class of 2024 student, this might be something that they would take a look at. So lots going on this summer, or your child can also just go to the pool. I don't know, maybe that's what they want to do. So we have some pictures here as we're wrapping up our first class here at Gainesville High School, the class of 2023. We have some images here on the left. This is a yard sign that we're going to be giving to all of the class of 2023 on June 2nd. I'll talk more about that in a moment. And then we also have some pictures from Decision Day, and then also some of our senior nights from baseball. I believe that's girls lacrosse, and from the boys soccer team. So there's been a lot of really exciting things happening as we've been celebrating this first class here at Gainesville High School. And here, just a list of some events and things that we're proud of that we were able to offer our students, including our first Decision Day on April 28th, where our students tell us they're joining the military, if they are, which college, are they going to Nova, they're going to UVA. Students, it was really, really nice to see them celebrating. We had food provided from the athletic boosters, the PTSO provided gift cards. We're really grateful for those organizations for supporting. Mr. Beach was able to give us some funds as well. And it was really a nice day. Dr. McDade stopped by This weekend is our first senior class trip. The kids decided to go to Kings Dominion, so they're going on Saturday. That'll be fun. I did mention the senior yard signs are going to be handed out to students on June 2nd. And I apologize if this is out of order. May 30th is our senior scholarship award night. This for students who reported scholarships, and we're asking that every senior submit every scholarship or award that they received, whether they're accepting it or not, to please submit that on the scholarship survey. They also had an option if they wanted to be recognized at scholarship night. So at this event, students have already reported that they want to be recognized, and we'll have a nice event for them on May 30th. My favorite event on June 5th, I actually think it's June 6th, is our Radiance Awards. And Radiance is a group of Cardinals. And at this event, we will be celebrating students who represent our 4 core values: lead, learn, care, create. And this year, each department will be recognizing a senior who embodies all of those values. So I'm very excited. Invitations for that event were sent out yesterday. We've had various athletic signing events throughout the spring. That's been exciting to see our first class of seniors signing to colleges for various sports. We will have graduation practice, which Ms. Yearwood's going to talk about in a moment, on June 9th and June 12th. And on June 12th, we will have a barbecue for our seniors. And then the big day, we have graduation on June 13th, which is Ms. Yearwood is going to talk about in just a moment. So lots of great ways that we're celebrating the class of 23. And the last little bit you'll get from me today, final transcripts. So for the class of 2023, students have reported on their senior survey, and I'm super happy to announce we have 100% of our seniors have completed their senior survey. So that's kind of a bragging point for Ms. Harris and our counselors for the work that they've done to get that completed. But students report what colleges they're going to and where they want their final transcript sent. We will have final transcripts done by June 13th, and as soon as we get through graduation on the 14th and 15th, we'll send final transcripts to schools. So those will go out automatically. If your child reported on the senior survey that they're going to one school and then they change their mind, they're going someplace else, not a big deal. They just need to contact Ms. Harris, our college and career counselor. I have her email address up there. It's just as soon as possible so we can make sure we're sending documents to the right school for your child. And that is it for me. I'm going to be handing over to Ms. Yearwood now.
Hi, everyone. I did put in the chat the link to the graduation information website there is a part of our website. I do encourage you to go there as we add information about graduation on there. So always check that. I think it says info for seniors in grad 2023 is where you can find that. As Ms. Pomfret said, our graduation is June 13th at 7 p.m. at Eagle Bank Arena. And a common question is, do we need tickets? You don't need tickets. There is no guest limit. There will be handicap parking available and lots of parking options available there as well. The one thing that I've been getting a lot of questions about, and I now have answers for you on, are the video and live stream information, and that is linked on the website. So there is the link for the live stream that's going to be that day. We'll probably also have some QR codes that day to help with that. And then the video you can also purchase ahead of time. So the video of graduation will be there to purchase on the website. As you can see on the corner there, we are also going to have pictures being done by Victor O'Neill. And what they've suggested is that you do the QR code and you sign up for the reminder. And then that way they'll let you know when your graduation photos are ready. And then you can see that your child's graduation photos when they come out in the summer. And then as we mentioned, there's 2 graduation practices. Those are really important so that everything runs smoothly. So there's going to be Friday, June 9th and Monday, June 12th at 8 a.m. Seniors must be at both of them. And on Friday, we'll do our thing. It should be about an hour or 2. And then seniors will be asked to leave the school grounds. They don't have to be in school that day. So after graduation, they do have to leave school. And on Monday, again, we'll have that graduation practice. We'll recognize our seniors with their summa cum laude medals, and then also pathways completers. And then we'll lead right into that senior barbecue where they'll get their yearbooks, and it'll be a really good time for all the seniors to get together. But again, seniors do have to attend those two practices. So just make sure you have those on your calendar. Lastly, the cap and gowns, I believe, were almost all purchased. The distribution day is going to be May 23rd next week. Jocelyn's will be here to help distribute. So during all lunches, remind your students to come pick up their cap and gown. And a common question is the cap decor. It should be 2D and it should be pre-approved by your admin, all appropriate. There's some more guidelines on the website. And when in doubt, ask an administrator, ask for approval before you do a lot of hard work on your cap that may not be appropriate or not possible for graduation. So if you have any questions, reach out. Thanks. And I think Mr. Daniels is up next.
Hello. So I have the end of year schedule. Just so you know, like we start our SOL makeups and expedited retakes, and we're starting those on Monday. We will have a modified bell schedule for the exam days. The exam information is posted on our school website. We have a senior exams, which will start first, and then our underclassmen exams, which will take us to the end of the year. The modified schedule for exams, we've talked about that. That schedule will be posted on our website. Graduation practice for the seniors will be both on the 9th and the 12th of June at 8 a.m. Seniors must attend both of those practices. And then there'll be exam exemption procedures, which will be in place. They'll be both for an A for the year for in a class that's a non-SOL class, and then if they pass the SOL, there's also an exam exemption for those. We will be doing exam exemption letters. Teachers will be handing those out as we get closer to the exam time. So look for those and look for your students if they're the ones that are eligible for those as they get closer to the end of the year, where they can get them from their teachers. This is the exam schedule coming up. So you can see we start a senior expedited retakes on the 22nd, and then the reading makeups will come on, and then we'll do senior expedited retakes through the 26th, through the 30th, and then underclassmen will start the following week in the 30th. And then this brings us through to June, which will be our exam periods. You can see the modified schedule where we have senior 1 exam. We start with 1 and 6, and then we go all the way down to the 8th with just 7. Please note that seniors are dismissed on the 6th, 7th, and 8th early at 10:46 on the 6th and 7th, and then at 9:10 on the 8th. And then we have grad practice on the 9th and the 12th, and then graduation will be on the 13th. Of June. And then we have the underclassmen exam starting on the 12th through the 15th, and those also have notice the 13th, 14th, and 15th are early release days. So pay attention to those times as your students will be coming home early those days.
Okay, and then kind of the last little section that we have here is just a recap. We've talked a lot about these events already. On May 29th, we will not have schools as it's Memorial Day weekend. We have our senior scholarship night on May 30th. Radiance Award is on June 6th. Sorry for the typo earlier in the slides. Graduation rehearsal June 9th and 12th, with graduation on the 13th, and the last day of school, if you can believe it, is June 15th. So we are wrapping up this fiscal year very, very quickly. The last thing that we have for you all, if you don't mind, we have a survey. If you don't mind scanning that QR code, and it has some information, if you can give us some feedback on our webinars. The intent for the 23-24 school year, we'll probably do a couple of these, 1 or 2. We might try some different platforms, some recorded webinars, some that aren't live like this one are. We may possibly look at some podcasts as well. But your input and letting us know if these are valuable is greatly appreciated. We will turn off our cameras and mute ourselves here in just a moment. But if you have questions, please submit them in the Q&A and we are happy to answer them. Otherwise, we hope that this was helpful for you all, and please let us know if there's any way we can help.